What is up, everyone? Scott the TroutHammer here. It's been too long. Bring it in. It feels like it's been too long. It's actually been a week and a half since I've had line in the water anywhere. But yeah, so for any of you guys who live anywhere near the Willamette Valley, you know that I don't know what the groundhog saw, last week. I think the groundhog was drunk. It's been spring in Oregon for a couple weeks now. And the water is right about that 50-degree mark. Now, if you guys don't know what that 50-degree mark does to fish, that basically overnight doubles their metabolism. That warmer water, they need twice as much oxygen and twice as much food, which means they now need to move around, get something to eat, and move to more oxygenated water. And one of those, really easy to find, the oxygenated water, is anywhere where there's fresh water flowing into a body of water, which I've got going on right there. So I'm gonna throw around some small stuff to search around, see if anything's out roaming around for the bite. Hopefully we can get something bigger. I brought the bigger stuff just in case, but yeah, let's get to fishing. And yeah, guys, you know how we do. Start out with the 4.5-foot ultralight, 2-pound line, 1/32 ounce jig head with a 2-inch chartreuse curly tail grub. Put a crappie nibble on the hook for some scent. All right, fish, where are you at? If you're at. So you know what we do on this channel, what I've taught you guys before, fan cast, start fishing what's in front of you, and work all the way across your angles, then start fishing further out. And I want you guys to know something also. I'm not standing directly on the bank. I'm standing about maybe 4 feet back from the bank. Reason being is that you're gonna have fish stacked up right in front of you, catchable fish, good quality fish right in front of you. They can feel the vibration of you walking up to the bank. If you walk right up to the bank and have pretty much your toes in the water, you just scared away probably half your catches. So I always start out a few feet back and I walk slowly and quietly up to the bank. Even though it should be warming up and even though fish should be more actively feeding, I'm still gonna run these lures a lot slower than I would in the heat of spring or even in the fall or summer. Pretty much just enough speed to get that curly tail going. Got something. Whoa. It's got some life to it, whatever it is. Come on, what are you? Whoa, buddy. Okay, wow. This is a surprise. I've got 2-pound line and no idea what I just hooked. Taking this very, very careful, guys. Yeah, good lesson on what to do when you catch something big, a lot bigger than you expect, on outclass gear, like I've got right now with this. Ultralight rod, 2-pound test line, play or drag, tire the fish out, do not reel when the fish goes to run. Let the fish run. When you feel the fish stop running, you can start reeling. That's when you start reeling. Oh, I've got one of the brood trout. Well, this might be my new record fish that I caught on an ultralight rod. Yeah, let the drag go, let the drag do its thing. Nice thing about catching a big fish on an ultralight rod is the rod does take a lot of the force, but you also definitely don't want to reel against the drag. If you're reeling and the drag's going out, all you're doing is you're spinning your line and twisting your line on your reel, and you don't want to do that. I didn't expect to catch a brood trout, so I didn't bring my net. I'm gonna have to tire this fish all the way out before I can get down there and pull it out of the water. So I saw, when the fish was close to the surface, I saw this fish had really bright colors on it. So this is a healthy brood trout. So this thing's gonna have a lot of energy. So, you know, all I'm doing is I'm reeling in about a foot of line, gently pulling up. You know, feel the fish. Feel for when the fish is going to turn and go. You know, this is how you beat a big fish on small gear. Patience. Patience and understanding of what the fish wants to do and what your line is capable of, what your gear is capable of. See, the fish just came to me. All I did was raise my rod pretty much past my head. Just use it to keep tension. Yep, he saw me. Or I guess she saw me. It's a brood trout, it's a female. She saw me and she was not happy. You know, keep your hand close to your reel, because there are going to be times you're going to need to loosen the drag and then tighten it back up when you go to reel the fish in. The fish is getting tired. It's not fighting as much. All it's doing is just thrashing its head side to side. It's getting tired of swimming. It's trying to get itself off the hook now. There it is. Getting nice and tuckered out. Alright, the fish is going to be coming to the surface a lot more. You know, still, let the fish govern the fight. All you need is patience and you'll land a fish this big on light gear. Don't let that fish go into the rocks, because if it can rub its face against the rocks, it'll snap the line. So all I did was I kind of guided the fish away from the rocks, back out into the open. And the biggest thing about keeping tension on a fish like this, you know, keeping your rod tip up and working against the fish, is that's how you're going to tire the fish out. See, now the fish is good and tired. She might make one more run, so I'm just going to sit here a second. All right, I don't have a net, so I got to get down here and get my finger in a gill. All right. And there you go, guys. Yeah, look at that. Look at that tiny hook. I can't believe that hook set actually held up. This one's still got an adipose fin. All right, let's take a guess. I'm going to say 8 pounds. Right about 6. Man, guys, I've had a lot of unexpected experiences fishing, but that's one of the top ones. I was trying to catch some crappie or some bluegill, maybe a small bass. You know, it just felt like I snagged a branch or something on the bottom. Just felt this resistance on the line. Then it started moving, and I realized it was a big fish. That is new record for me. Biggest fish I've caught on an ultralight, and in terms of like weight to class of gear that I was using, I mean, that's just way over the top for what I've done before. I mean, the fish was 3 times heavier and 3 times stronger than the line I used. That was completely outclassed. Yeah, things like that are the things I want to teach on this channel. You know, teach you how to win situations of fishing like that. You know, you can't, you know, times where you're not catching fish, times where you don't know what to do. You got something way bigger and way stronger than what you have available for you to catch it. I mean, I didn't even have a net. Things like that I'm trying to teach, but I want to get back to more fishing now. And that was cast number 2 in this area. All right, so first thing I'm doing when I cast after that is I'm gonna try to get some of that twist out of the line. Pretty much just real slowly, keep my finger on the line. Get that twist out of it. Yeah, I just realized this reel is still still broken. And the last time I fished with it, need to replace this reel. Something's going wrong with the something's going wrong with the baler. It doesn't stay in place. So I mean, man, catching that fish on outclassed gear and broken gear. I think we've arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Going pro in 2022. Alright, I'm going to go a little bit bigger. Let's go with the light action rod. Brand new line on it too, that line that came in the Lucky Tackle Box. And let's start out with that micro spinner. So I'm going to slowly run this micro spinner closer to the bottom. If there's any warmer water game fish that are going to be around here, that's where they're going to be. You know, this whole area, this spot gets most of the sunlight throughout the day when it's sunny. So it's going to have the highest water temperature from the sunlight, but also these rocks, these things just collect heat, and that's something that largemouth bass they'll stick close to, because that also helps increase the water temperature. You know, they want that warmer water. Usually that's moving water in the winter or the warmest part of the lake, and this is the warmest part of the lake in the winter. You know, so you guys can see, you know, during the winter time, the sun rises over by that bank and then sets behind those houses in the winter, so there's not a whole lot of sunlight that gets back here. We're getting closer to the spring, so there's a lot more sunlight. There's a lot longer amounts of sunshine during the day, so all that sunshine is just going to come over and warm up this part of the lake right here. Plus you've got moving water over here, which tends to attract bait fish, tends to attract forage. That was my fault. I missed that hook set. A bass that just picked us up in its mouth. Felt the resistance, couldn't set the hook in time. Just pulled it right out of its face. Ah, it's frustrating. That's something. Something either not fighting very hard or doesn't see me yet. Oh yeah, that was very hard. That was big stick hard. Man, you catch a stick that big, makes you wonder where's the rest of it down there. Alright, last step before I call it, I'm going to throw a jig around. So reason why I'm going right to this jig for the situation I'm in, the water's really muddy, so I want something that's going to stand out in that mud, especially down on the bottom. And white, you know, like you've heard me explain in previous videos, and also still credit Nick the Informative Fisherman for the way he explained this, white does not look white to the fish underwater. White reflects UV radiation, so all that UV radiation coming down from the sun just reflects off this and bounces off, and it looks like a big disco ball to the fish. 50-pound braid on here, so it's about 12-pound test comparable line, but I've got this tied directly onto the braid. With the water being as muddy as it is, visibility is not going to really be the issue. You know, pretty much all that's going to do is it's going to give me better bite detection. So I'm just kind of let this get down to the bottom, and I'm just going to like hop it up a few inches as I retrieve. It's got that swim jig weight head on it, so it slightly has the profile of a fish, but that color, it's going to be a fish that bass haven't seen in this lake, probably doing something they're not used to seeing fish do, especially this time of year. And when you guys are actually jigging with the jig, you don't want to crack the whip. You know, you don't want to pop it back toward you with slack line, because that's going to draw the fish's attention to your line, and it's going to give away the illusion that that's food. They're going to see it's a lure once they notice that there's that line attached to it. So what you want to do is you want to reel into your lure, reel until you feel tension, then pop it up, bring your rod tip down, reel in the slack. Go like that. You don't want to lift like that with slack line. Yeah, I've got bass on the brain. Starting to see things. Thought I saw a shadow following my jig. You know, I want to cast back over in that area where I had that bite. Right about there. I think that's something. Again, like I said, when it just had the skirt in its mouth, so I felt it turn, then I pulled it away. I'm losing my touch. I haven't bass fished in months. Oh gosh. Yeah, but that's just how subtle the bite is during the winter, during this early transition. You're barely gonna feel the fish. You're pretty much just gonna feel the fish put your lure in its mouth and just sit there. They don't do something until you do something with it. That's also why I recommend using braid, using fluorocarbon, because you get that bite detection. You know, keep your finger on the line. That's how you're gonna feel the fish has it. All right, guys, and that is unfortunately where I have to end it. I didn't have a lot of time for this trip. I've been out here for about an hour. That's as much time as I had. I mean, to say I'm surprised by what happened is understatement of the year. I know it's only the first full week of the second month of the year, but hey, understatement of the year. But I mean, yeah, did not expect that. Big old brooder destined for the smoker. Gonna be tasty. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Point out anything you guys noticed also while out on this fishing trip. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave that nice big blue thumbs up down on the bottom. And if you are a new viewer and you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that little notify bell right beside you. You'll be the first to see all the great fishing content that's going to come out on this channel. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. And as always, tips up, tight lines, and have fun fishing.